Hi, my name is John Tampa. I'm the Rector of Emmanuel Southern Pines, a member of Diocesan Council, and the Chair of the Diocesan Finance Department. As we prepare for the 195th Convention of the Diocese of North Carolina, I'd like to share with you some personal reflections on the proposed mission and ministry budget. First, as you may know, a new fair share canon was passed at the 194th Convention of the Diocese last January. The purpose of the new canon was not to substantially increase the diocesan revenues, but to establish equitable participation in the funding of our common ministry. According to this new canon, for those congregations that have been granted a reduction in their fair share giving, the Fair Share Appeals Board will refer the parish or mission to appropriate sources of assistance with the expectation that they'll be able to develop a plan to contribute their full fair share as soon as possible. The proposed diocesan budget for 2011 is relatively flat in comparison to the 2009 and 2010 budgets. Since September 2008, we've all lived through difficult times, and I believe the Diocesan Council has been sensitive to that fact in drafting this budget. To review, the diocesan budget for 2009 totaled just under $5 million. The budget was dramatically reduced in 2010 to approximately $4.6 million, and the proposed 2011 budget comes in at just over $4.7 million. Next year's budget was developed with the assumption that spending levels for all areas of diocesan program ministry would remain relatively flat for the third year in a row. However, each department was given the ability to reallocate funds within their needed present budgets. You'll find as a link on our diocesan website a summary of the 3 notable changes in income for 2011 and the 10 notable expenditure changes. I personally think that each of these changes is entirely appropriate, demonstrating faithfulness to the Mission Action Plan by providing for an East Regional priest and deacon, providing for a 3% cost of living adjustment for our diocesan staff, including our campus chaplains, for the first time in 3 years, and providing adequate health care for our retired clergy. Also, you'll find a link to a pie chart which breaks down the 2011 budget by spending category, and I think that you'll see that this is a truly Christ-centered budget, focusing heavily on evangelism and mission, both within the diocese and beyond. And here are just 4 examples. First, approximately 16% of our budget is allocated for youth and young adult ministries, including the support of our 14 campus ministries. This is truly an outreach program of the diocese. As you can imagine, most college students don't make pledges to support campus ministries. Second, 12.38% of our budget is allocated to the support and subsidizing of 13 congregations doing important work in very difficult circumstances around our diocese. And I'm thinking in particular about one parish in particular with an average Sunday attendance of 200 people. The wonderful members of that parish give generously as they're able, though their pledges amount to less than $20,000 toward an overall operating budget of $100,000. That congregation is a vital part of their community, and they deserve our prayers and our material support. And I believe that congregations such as mine don't have to support these congregations. We get to support these congregations. Third, 15.3% of our budget goes to support the mission and outreach of the Episcopal Church globally, nationally, and ecumenically, including the North Carolina Council of Churches. During a trip with my parish to Costa Rica this past June, I learned that of the 22 parishes in the Diocese of Costa Rica, only 2 are fully self-sustaining. Like many other dioceses around the Anglican Communion, a large share of the Diocese of Costa Rica's financial support comes from the Episcopal Church. And a number of other vital initiatives are made possible through companion relationships with parishes in our diocese. And fourth, an additional 2.4% of our budget is allocated to the diocesan-wide outreach, including the farm worker ministry, global missions, and the Millennium Development Goals. In citing just these 4 examples, you can see that over 46% of our 2011 budget is dedicated to mission, outreach, and evangelism, truly making our diocese, as Bishop Curry said, a church for others. I have served as a priest and a layperson in 2 other dioceses, and I feel truly blessed to now serve with you here in this diocese. And I'm grateful to God and to you for making God's dream for the Diocese of North Carolina come true every day. So thank you, God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you at Diocesan Convention in January.